Hello everybody and welcome back to Analog Vernacular. Today we're going to be playing some more Rogue Trader, and we are in Tervantias' laboratory, and we're going into a big room, so I expect that something is going to happen here. We're probably going to have a big fight. Is Tervantias at... Oh, that's him, isn't it? There's Tervantias. The Arch Machinator. Alright, let's go get this guy. I want to kill him so badly. So he's experimenting on humans here. Because these tubes have people that have human-like features. What is he up to? Yep, that's a human. Oh dear. Tervantias the Arch Machinator. You're looking at several completely identical homunculi at work, a disturbing sight. The indistinguishable and familiar faces turn their attention towards you, morosely and almost indifferent. So are these like partial clones of him too, or something? One of the homunculi starts to talk with all the usual arrogance. The specimen. We meet again. Your escape from Camera was both a statistical anomaly and an act of abject cowardice. You should have died in the Dark City instead of overstepping the limits of your own usefulness. You made too much noise. Okay, you decided not to kill Tervantias, the Arch Machinator, in Camorra. We had a choice? Oh, I think what it... There was a choice, but it would have, what was it going to do? It was going to do something really awful to kill him, right? So it was going to hurt other people that we didn't want to hurt or something. I can't remember exactly what it was, but we decided not to do it because of that, right? Foul aberration. The monster falls silent, barely perceptible electrical charges run through the homunculi's body. Then, the one who spoke continues. So you're here. Now what? Are you going to bore me with your questions, monkey? Their colors. Horrible, frightening, tattered shades. Only a madman could do something like that to himself. Cassia looks away, horrified. Okay, this is... Oh, wow, 90% is better than I thought it would be. Okay, the homunculi are twitching slightly as though from invisible electric impulses. They look virtually identical, yet each seems to be missing something, a limb, an implant, even a facial feature or two. The single gaze of the many faces no longer seems full of haughty superiority only. Some kind of shared defect also shows in it. Well, I see you have found new company, Tervantias. You've surrounded yourself with yourself, which is weird. You hear the Drukhari's voice again, but can't see who is talking. Found? Don't you mean made? I'd had a backup shell stored away for centuries, but the events at the Spire of the Reaving Tempest convinced me one active body was not enough. It does not look like a Drukhari laboratory. What is this place? The clones look around them in a movement that's almost synchronized. A disembodied voice answers you. This dreary vault is lacking in practicality and function, but it's been a passable refuge for me and my research. Why are you here and not in Camorra? I am obviously here because this is my laboratory containing my research that requires my attention. The familiar voice of one of the Xenos sounds as though he was lecturing a child. Am I talking to one Tervantias or several? Is each of you a separate individual? The homunculi you can see are silent, and yet you still hear Tervantias' reply. His voice seems to be coming from every side at once. My new multiple form is intriguing, isn't it? I'll leave your question unanswered, specimen, to give you something to ponder. It seems like they have a hive mind. So the hole in the ceiling is a peculiar design choice. What happened here? The identical faces look annoyed and spiteful. For a moment it seems the homunculi are about to reply in unison, but a barely perceptible electrical impulse stops them. One of them scoffs and mutters through his teeth. Just more proof of how unreliable partnerships with lower life forms are. Okay, awareness test succeeded. You notice one of the homunculi glance at the hole in the ceiling. Fury contorts the Xenos' face. Tervantias is unable to hide his anger at what happened. Whoever did that, and whatever it was that they did, it infuriated him a lot. So, I've seen a body of a dead tech priest. Where did he come from? A broad, repulsive grin appears on one of the disfigured faces. Oh, how would I know? I can't tell one monkey from another. I'll turn this place inside out to find out who has conspired with the Xenos. I've had it with traitors among the ranks of humanity. Heinrich's voice overflows with anger and bitterness. This meeting will be our last, Tervantias. Draw your weapon. You're different from others of your species specimen. This time around, I want to study you much, and I mean much more thoroughly, which necessitates your death. And I hope dying once doesn't suffice for you.
Do you dare to look me in the eye?
Weird, it put us in a straight line. Okay. All right, let's maybe try and get the people that are kind of like on our bats, and then we'll turn around after that. Okay. Does this hit our people too? All enemies.
If I may.
I'm done with this one.
Marketed you on the art of pain.
I'm not accustomed to being ordered around.
Okay, some of them explode into poison. That's good to know. Okay, Argenta, where can you do some damage? Man, you can really move. I like that. Let's go here and see if we can get a spread. Let's see. Does that have any chance of hitting him? No. Maybe that one then.
Doubt is for the weak.
Okay, good stuff.
I'll do it.
29's not great. Let's go for him. Hold up. Yeah.
Faith without deeds is worthless.
We pop that and we just make sure that Cassia can't get got.
I'll do it.
Damn, that was really good.
I understand your intent. This tedium is beneath me.
Let's trail the big guy. Why did he do that? I must have given him some kind of buff or something. Holy! That almost one-shot her. Ooh, good dodge. not really used to one-shots. No.
We're at a tactical disadvantage.
Alright, one of our best damage dealers is down. That's really not good.
If I must. I am not your Xenos pet, monkey. I deal death with my hands.
I won't object to it. Get me a target. Be gone.
You've unleashed my fury. Your suffering will sustain me.
Okay. How does that work? Okay, so it's like a cone. Okay, taunting stream. I don't remember how we collect Unyielding Beacon, but... So I think Endure here is going to be better than
It
maybe
will
Sworn
be done.
Enemy.
At your beck and call. I will do my duty.
It's as good as done.
I will tear your heart out for this.
Yeah, giving you more to do is going to be good for us. Let's see.
Mine now.
Okay, he must have got his save, unfortunately.
I am a navigator, not a servant.
This can't be over.
Isn't this a job for the serfs? If I may, me, if you insist, Lord Captain. No! These ruby flashes are choking me.
I'll make it happen.
Okay. Reinforcements. They're probably limited. I think it missed that one because of the... just the awkward angle there, but that's okay.
exemplary strike.
Okay, very nice. Very nice. Oh, that's so good. That's so good. Keep going, buddy. Keep going. Keep going. Yes. Holy shit. That was amazing. That was actually amazing. Okay, he's actually really dangerous. He basically one-shot her, so we need to try and take care of him quick. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna take it.
Another soul slips beyond the veil. I understand your intent.
Alright, so I wonder if we should actually try to destroy these. I don't know if... You know what? No, it can probably only do one person, right? So, like, more people aren't going to be coming out of those, I don't think. Could be wrong, but...
I am not your Xenos pet, monkey.
I am a prey taker.
Naturally. For the throne's glory.
Okay, what has he got on him? He might be protected while he's got... Let's see. Power from pain. Blood barrier. This creature gains a bonus to armor equal to the number of creatures suffering from the bleeding effect. This creature also regains 10% of their maximum wounds per number of creatures suffering from bleeding. Okay. Probably allies or enemies.
Your suffering will sustain me.
I took care of this one. It will be done.
Let's see, do I have anything that can give me another attack? I mean, damn, I should have moved first and then I would have been able to do the charge as well. Let's see, no, I have breakthrough. So that should allow me to attack him, right? Damn, it wasn't enough to kill though.
Indeed.
I'll see to it personally.
Your last stroke of luck.
On it.
Very nice. Can you see him? Can you move? You can.
You call this a strike?
I am a navigator, not a servitor.
Oh, it didn't work. Darn.
Who, if not me? I'll see to it personally. Here's my perfect moment.
Battlefields are always drowned in scarlet.
Huge.
Isn't this a job for the serfs?
277. That's so good. Oh, and she just rolled her thing to give her another one too. Oh, I love you, Cassia. So she still got that staff that lets her re-roll that? I can't remember if it was from her staff or some other PC. Was it from her staff? Hold on. Let's see. Which one do you have on right now? That one. No, let's see. I think there was something that lets her re-roll her navigator power to be able to use it again, right? You know what, that's coming from this staff, I think, but... You know what, doesn't matter. I feel like this isn't... I'm not supposed to be able to use this 3 times in a row. That feels wrong to me. Like, I could probably end this right now, but I think that might have bugged a little bit, and I don't really want to take advantage of that. Oh no, it's because she got granted the turn, right? And that means that she can just use this as many times as she wants.
Me?
We're in the clear. We're in the clear. It's kosher. Goodbye, Tervantias. You will not be missed. At the start of their turn, the wearer recovers wounds equal to the number of bleeding creatures. If at least one wound was recovered that way, one fresh injury is removed from the wearer as well. That's kind of interesting. Probably won't use it. Can't use you. A damaged data slate. There's a dent on the data slate screen covered in flickering colored stripes. The readable parts are twitchy and contain repetitions. Numerous prior studies pursued the goal of breaking new ground and recreating and reviving the specimen in the event of its death. The above-mentioned experiment lay the groundwork for modernizing and accelerating the recreation of a living organism from a minuscule sample of bone or muscle tissue. Every variety of living organism has been observed to release a number of chemicals at the moment of death that enable the creation of an entirely identical clone, with intact memories of its prior life up to and including the moment of death, most vividly detailed as to both physical sensations and emotional distress. As mentioned before, even a tiny modicum of bone or muscle tissue is sufficient for reviving or creating an organism in an adequate lab setup. Bear in mind that work on creating the new body must begin before the third stage of decomposition is set in. He could have other labs with other clones. Tervantias might not be done for. There might be other versions of him around, unfortunately.
Is there money to be made?
Never got a spawn out of that one, huh? Is there a way for us to destroy these?
Rise to the top, or get left in the dust.
The space around the hollow is littered with lumps of broken concrete. A small wind gets into the room through the ugly hole in the ceiling, stirring up whirlwinds of stone dust at your feet. The hole in the lab's vaulted ceiling and the hollow underneath it points you to the obvious. Something broke into the room, ripped out a piece of the lab, and dragged it outside. You are, for now, mystified as to what that something was. Okay, let's check awareness. Through the piled up rocks, dirt, and thick dust, you're able to make out parts of fixtures that were ripped out of their sockets and thrown to the floor. Parts like these are used for fastening industrial girders in place at large manufactorums around the Imperium. Okay, and demolition check. You study the edges of the breach carefully, reflect for a few minutes, and conclude that the hole in the lab ceiling was blown by several powerful directed explosions. After some time, you note the characteristic marks of the debris in the walls. The ceiling was breached using melta charges. What do you think about all this? The Seneschal looks around, frowning. I don't understand. Drukhari machinery and their toys seem out of place within these walls. Nay, they seem positively alien. These walls, why, this is the standard architecture of the Imperium bunker. Why would a Xenos conduct their business in a place like this? Because they were working with somebody. Somebody human. They would if they were going to do business with members of humanity. Heinrich's voice is dull and quiet, as if the interrogator had suddenly been drained of all his strength. But interrogator, who? Cold traders, privateers, rogue traders. Heinrich breaks off as if stalling at the last moment. This is technically Caligos's planet. I wonder if Caligos was working with him. Mutually profitable commerce with Xenos is not that uncommon, Abelard. And that was what went on in this place, a place built by humans and furnished by the Drukhari. My kinspeople were unable to find this place. The Dark Ones would hardly have been content with a single trophy, even one as great as this. No, this was done crudely and quickly, and that behavior is more typical of the Monkey. This world belongs to House Winterscale, but I don't believe... I refuse to believe His Lordship Caligos would ever collaborate with Xenos. Dark red and brownish green would envelop his figure every time the subject of hunting the enemies of humanity was brought up. He despised them, hated them, maybe because his father worked with them, and he holds a grudge. It may have been the generation above that did this. I don't know, man. The broken stairs end at an empty spot where all that's left is the shattered floor and a small hollow.
Let us not dawdle.
Okay. I think we've got everything. And it looks like we got level ups again.
That was a problem for you.
Keep your wits about you.
Kunrad has managed to find himself a henchwoman in the heart of Dargonus? Regina? Who would have thought it?
Voidfear will not leave the Versarian family or the von Valancius dynasty in...
Oh, I was listening to that. Dang it. The Voxcaster under your armor suddenly spits out a cacophony of sounds, the growl of chain swords, human screams, the screech of metal, and the rattling interference of an active Voxcast. Working the button switches and tumblers only makes it worse. Repair the Voxcaster? Skillfully wielding your tools, you open the device's case and check each part's condition. The Voxcaster does not enjoy your manipulations, and hisses at you, then the lumens on its screen glow red, and the broadcast stops. What was that? But the calm does not persist for long. Right before your eyes, the device's remains burst into purple sparks, and the dead speaker emits the familiar voice of Speaks with Gods, hoarse and feeble. O starborn sky herald of the Eagle God, hear the prayers of your servants. Sent to you through the myriad forests of Quetzaltimur. The nightmare has become real, the darkness left the forest. But the light of the dying star can still be saved. The heart of the forest calls out for you. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. As soon as the priest's voice stops, your entire body arches with a crack as if electrocuted. You are standing on the tips of your toes, staring at a crimson sky at dusk that has turned into an ocean of spilt blood. It's Still surface is broken by a hand with fingers covered in rings, and Caligos Winterscale emerges from the depths, only to take a single breath and disappear once more into the blood. It happens again and again and again, until he finally notices you. He throws out his hand and reaches for you. He reaches out, and the illusion fades away, leaving only a splitting headache in its wake. Quickly, we must return to the settlement. It may be a psych or sorcery that leads us, but in the end, we will either help those who await us, or purge this world of more corrupted delusions. I could barely understand the speech of this monkey, but one thing is clear, their settlement needs help. I care little about the woes of those primitive creatures. I am simply paying reparations for the pain that my kin have brought upon this world. By the throne's radiance, those psychers certainly love speaking in riddles. And now we were supposed to go herring off and make guesses about what has happened? Abelard nervously fiddles with his mustache. Still, his tone made it clear that it is nothing good, and I fear that it is already too late. A rotted feeling, I dare say. Go to the village. I ain't staying here, come on. Okay, Argenta's got an injury, not surprising. Alright, an exemplar talent and a second tier archetype talent. Alright, we have some things starred. After an ally takes an extra turn provided by the character, the ally gains 7% armor, 7% dodge, and 3 movement points. Character's critical hit chance and critical damage are increased by 7% of their dodge. Her dodge is oh no, this is... I don't know why I thought this was Argenta for a second. Okay. Yeah, your dodge is fine. 80%'s not bad. Every round after the character kills the first enemy, the character immediately makes an additional single attack against the closest enemy they can target with the same weapon if possible. This attack deals 30% base damage with a 10% bonus for every difficulty tier of the first killed enemy. If the enemy was of difficult tier 1, this attack deals 40% damage in total. It's kind of cool. When allies take actions on extra turns given by the character, they deal 15% more damage. That's pretty good too. Looks like we have Firebrand. Take the star off of that. When the character's single shots deal damage to targets other than their main target, they gain +5 ballistic skill until the end of combat. The character gains +5 to all characteristics. This bonus is doubled when they have 25% wounds or less. Just at all times? You just get a +5 on everything? Oh wow, characteristics include skills too. Okay, we're probably taking that. That's just really valuable. The character's attacks gain an additional percentage over penetration. Their over penetration attacks cannot be dodged. As long as the character wears light armor, their dodge is increased by half of the armor bonus of that armor. That's pretty good too. That makes your dodge a lot better. $85 to $105? Huh. You're not getting shot at that much. Let's do Perfection Under Fire first. Okay. You've already got Comfort and Conformity on this one. Let's see. Stronghold. Strongpoint also grants half the amount of temporary wounds to the ally closest to the target. Or Unwavering Motivation. The target of Inspire grants +5% additional damage for every 10 stacks of tactical advantage until the beginning of the Master Tactics next turn. We're going to do Stronghold. Okay. Dear Liette. Oh yeah, because we just gave you medium armor. Okay. Character's armor penetration is higher than the enemy's armor. The character's critical hit chance against that enemy is increased by plus 2% for every 5% difference. I guess armor penetration is on the weapon, and most snipers have really good armor penetration, so... Okay, Deadeye Shot deals an additional percentage of damage based on perception, which you are good at. And the following ranged attack abilities gain Deadeye Shot benefits. Bounty Hunters claim the bounty, Master Tacticians finish the job. I like that. That might be the one. Let's take Masterful Precision. Okay. Whenever the bounty hunter is attacked in melee range for the first time since the end of their turn, they automatically dodge that attack and move one cell in the opposite direction. I don't mind that. That's pretty good. Kill Squad. Raid grants an ally an additional percentage damage against prey. Pretty good too. Whenever the bounty hunter kills prey, whose difficulty tier is 4 or higher, the bounty hunter gains an additional 2 AP. You're not often the one finishing off really, really high tier prey, though. So I don't know. That one's not a high priority. Whenever the bounty hunter scores a critical hit, they gain 7% armor penetration to the end of combat, and it stacks. I think I'm going to take Withdraw for this one. Okay, Argenta. Looks like we picked up Cataclysm at some point. Character's attacks gain an additional percentage over penetration. Okay, let's start from the top, actually. Critical hit chance and critical damage are increased by 7% of their dodge. That's pretty good. You have really good dodge. Every round after the character kills the first enemy, the character immediately makes an additional single attack against the closest enemy that they can target with the same weapon. When targets pushed by the character collide with enemies... Yeah, we're not doing that often. During the first turn of combat, the character has +2 additional action points. It's pretty good too. Okay. Any damage the character deals is increased by +1 for every attack they have made this combat. Does not affect damage over time effects. Dude, Extermination is going to stack up so hard on Argenta. I'm taking that right now. I'm not even going to continue reading. We're taking that. 4% chance to ignore any enemy attack. Cool. What is making that 4%? It's a willpower thing. Gotcha. So high willpower would do better with that. Gaining a stack of versatility increases critical hit chance by 10% until the end of the turn. That's pretty good. Devastating attack also reduces the target's armor by -7% and the toughness by -10 until the end of combat. Close quarters training. Dependable. Armor for every stack of versatility. Any of the Archmilitant's area attacks, both melee and ranged, reduce the deflection of all enemies hit by -2 and their armor by -7% until the end of combat. Cool. That one does not stack? Does not. Okay. Let's take Adaptability. After an ally takes an extra turn provided by the character, the ally gains +7% armor, dodge, and movement points until the end of combat. I like that. I'm taking it. Tonicity. Navigator path powers deal +1 additional damage for every 5 bonus characteristics the Navigator's currently equipped staff. Cool. I'll take it. Whenever the character loses wounds, their next melee attack gains +1 damage for every 2 wounds the character has lost. Immune to all effects that reduce their movement points. Yeah, let's do that. That way, no matter what, he can move. I like that. Okay. Picked up that, picked up that, picked up that. Whenever the assassin deals direct damage to an enemy, that enemy suffers +1 stack of the vulnerable effect. Okay. Psyker Extremis. Each level of Psi rating provides the Psyker access to new psychic powers. It also strengthens damaging psychic powers. You're not using... Well, I guess, does your weapon count? You have a weapon that is based off of Psi stuff, right? The Psyker Psi rating is increased by +1 until the end of combat every time an ally uses a heroic act. Alright, we're going to try this Extremis. Let's go for it. Character's deflection is doubled against single target attacks. That's pretty good. Flesh wounds is pretty good. Being able to just heal every turn. Targets that consider the character a priority target deal 40% less damage to the character's allies. Let's do that, full attention. Each stack of Unyielding Beacon additionally increases armor and parry by 1%. % less damage to the Vanguard. Sure. We'll take the Renitent Beacon. Alright, everybody else is gonna have to wait. Oh, good. Everybody's dead.
I always have a backup plan.
Blood for the rogue trader's throne, skulls for the skull god. Did you do this, bro? Caligos Winterscale laughs uncontrollably, looking around the blood-soaked village. His eyes are full of rage, as if absolute insanity has possessed him. These were his people. Wharton the Grey seems hypnotized by his master's words, his bloodshot eyes alight with a slowly growing flame. Unnatural, frightening, demonic. Oh, there's some Psi shit going on here. There's some madness. The remaining members of Winterscale's retinue have dispersed around the village's center. The navigator apathetically observes the massacre from a distance. The tech priest appears overly fascinated with assembling and disassembling her own leg augmetics, and the Slith mercenary is raising the village wholly satisfied. Only Caligos' new psyker, Speaks with Gods, is nowhere to be seen. By the Golden Throne! In a daze, Argenta looks at the butchered bodies of the local villagers. Men and women, young and old. What offense did these poor souls commit to deserve such a gruesome fate? Caligos turns around and gives you the broadest of smiles. Ah, analog vernacular, how was your hunt? They were your subjects, why? Caligos' smile grows faint, condescending. You convinced me to stop hunting the Xenos new blood. But thirst and melancholy got the better of me sooner than I anticipated. I grew bored, and those worthless peasants squealed so miserably that I wanted to strangle them more, and more, and more. His eyes briefly glazed over. You dissuaded Caligos Winterscale from battling the Eldari in the forests of Quetzaltimur. What a dick. Let's kill this guy. This monkey killed his own kin just because he could not kill mine. Uriet's face is shadowed by a shroud of guilt. I did not wish for it to end this way, Elentok. What happened to you, Caligos? What are you? What have you become? What are you saying, new blood? Have the Xenos addled your mind in so short a time? Kalecgos looks at you with a mix of surprise and confusion. Didn't Theodora explain to you that in the Expanse, baseless accusations went out of style a good 100 years ago? His palette is mixed in a very strange way. The red completely covers his eyes, but everything around him glows gold and silver. I think that his lordship Kalecgos Winterscale simply does not see the true colors of his deeds. Yeah, okay. He feels no remorse. I know that you killed your own seneschal. What nonsense are you spewing, new blood? Erdrig died at the hands of the Xenos who attacked our camp at night. Either Kalecgos is a skillful liar, or he truly cannot remember what actually happened. You have turned a calm settlement into bloody carnage. What other evidence does one need? Oh, they were born on my planet, living their pointless lives for a single purpose, to one day satisfy their master. They have fulfilled their purpose. Kalecgos responds with a crooked grin. Wharton, the rogue trader seeks to befog your mind, master. Such insolence. Slit his throat quickly. Despite being oblivious to his arch-militant's words, Kalecgos unwittingly tenses his back and shoulders. The look in his eyes is even more feral now than before. Man, I don't even know if I want to persuade him to, come to terms with what he's done. I kind of just want to kill him. The Winterscale I have heard of would have never thrown his worlds to Corda only to indulge in mindless hunting. Kalecgos clicks his teeth and bursts into a fit of laughter, but then quickly calms down. Testing the boundaries, are we, vernacular? I like your boldness, but you shouldn't stick your head so far into the beast's throat. Flinching as if struck by a whip, Winterscale stares at the village with the look of someone who is seeing it for the first time. Confusion and unease creep into his gaze. What is happening with him? Is it Wharton doing this to him? Is this some, chaos shit? What's going on? What happened here? Who dared... The realization forms new lines on his face. No, I surely couldn't have... or... Yeah, Servant of Chaos. It's gotta be, Wharton's gotta be the one. The only thing that makes me wonder... I don't know, man, because I feel like, Cassia would have been able to see some of that in Wharton. Your arch-militant is a heretic and a servant of chaos. He is the one fanning the flames of your rage. This is your last chance, Kalecgos. Cleave this upstart in two with the axe that I blessed for you. Skin him and bathe in his blood. We will forget everything and continue on our journey, to hunt and to kill. This is the way you prefer to drown out your loneliness and boredom, is it not? This is your doing? Oh, you wretched cur. Kalecgos swings his axe at the arch-militant, but he evades the mortal blow with the grace of a viper. I showed you mercy and you have been corrupting my soul this entire time, forcing me. No one forced you, Kalecgos. I merely enabled your desire, fostered it, and made your crimson rage blossom. You suspected, yet your own pride stopped you from recognizing your weaknesses. Wharton's speech becomes more and more distorted with each word, and a thought swells in the back of your mind. You wish to kill him, tear him apart, here, now. Oh, is he trying to do it to us now? You weak, worthless fool. I have spent so many years growing this rage inside you, and still you resist. Did you think you could refuse the blessing of the Skull God at the last moment? Is the Skull God is one of the Chaos Princes, right? Or is that what they're called? I can't even remember. But one of the Chaos Lords. Is he? I'm asking because I honestly don't know enough about them. Well, one way or another, he will claim you all. Wharton's flesh bursts, and the last thing you notice is his hateful gaze turning to you. Jesus! Alright, well, Kalecgos is... Well, he was still standing. Caligos Winterscale lies on the ground staring into the endless sky of Quetzaltemur. His pelvis is twisted unnaturally, his legs are not moving, and an exposed bone shard protrudes from his right arm. Blood streams down his chin in a thin rivulet with no sign of stopping. It was a good fight, New Blood. For the first time, Caligos Winterscale's voice is calm and humble. Oh no, Medicae succeeded. Even if he lives, it looks like he might be paralyzed. Your spine seems to be damaged. There is no walking with that. Oh, it seems that you may be correct. Caligos does not look dismayed by your words in the slightest. After all, I can't even feel anything below the chest aside from an overwhelming feeling of helplessness, of course. He lets out a contented wheeze instead of a laugh. Jesus. What is the Emperor's vow? What now? I will remain here with what's left of my escort and wait for help, and you should go. There are still so many undiscovered stars and unknown worlds out there. Caligos's gaze once again turns to the sky, where the first stars begin to appear. I will take you to the Emperor's vow. There is no need, but if you are so concerned about an old man's health, I shan't stop you. Damn. That escalated real quick. You guys are bad friends. Okay, we can't interact with him at all. Them either. So are we just supposed to leave then? Okay, that's footfall. We'll talk to Adira. That's footfall. Alright, that one should be X'd out because we can no longer deal with the boots. If we don't have the boots that we lost, then they're lost. Not the biggest problem. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Okay. Alright, yeah, so we can't interact with him. I don't actually know where the exit is. It's not showing up on the map.
Always keep your eye on the prize.
Okay. Alright, we need to talk to Adira. We should see if we can talk to Yirliet as well. When Adira sees you, her lips curve into a smile and she nods at something over your shoulder. Adira, how are you? Are you hopefully not regretting your decisions?
Never been better, Lord Captain. No joke. As soon as I stopped fearing for my life, even the voices in my head quieted down. But don't get me wrong, they will come back. And one day I'll find myself in a situation I can't get out of. But for now, I'm fine. And it's all thanks to you.
Okay.
You know, I think it's pretty ironic that my gift lets me see the future, when thinking about the future is the thing I'll do anything to avoid. Substances of all kinds, jokes, stories about their good old days. I hide under them all like a blanket. As long as I don't poke my head out, everything will be okay. At least, that's what I thought. But I'm tired of living other people's stories. I want to tell my own. I don't know when or how mine will come to an end, but I'm going to do everything I can to make sure that somebody someday tells at least one decent story about Adira Tlas. And I can't think of a better way to do that than by standing shoulder to shoulder with you.
One story? Don't sell yourself short. You and I have already had enough adventures to fill a tome.
Then what are we waiting for? Get a scribe in here. We need to get all this down before we forget. But we have to make me more heroic and powerful so that I come out looking the best next to your other companions. What do you reckon? How many wastrels have we slaughtered? 1 million? Stuff that. Let's make it 2.
Deal.
Of course. Always at your service. Whenever you need me.
Let's see, do we still have our, yeah, we still got our servo skull picked recorder. He's been recording everything for us, so we've got all the documentation. We'll make the best, documentary about this. Hey, nice T-pose, bro.
Elantak,
I am upset.
I trust your journeys were fruitful.
I am upset that she doesn't have more to say after that. Like, we finished her quest and she doesn't have anything new to say? That's rude. Come on, game. That's rude. You know that's rude. Okay. We haven't checked in with Victus in a while. Anything interesting? Forgive me, Lord Captain, I have no information. Okay. Fair enough. And then we got Danrock. Okay, the Kaspalika we're doing pretty good with. Oh, it looks like we have some new stuff we can get. Oh my gosh, we've got so many things to get from you guys? Okay. Alright, we might have to check all this stuff. I might have to do a check on these off screen or something, because this is a lot of equipment to go through. Okay, not bad, not bad. Alright. There was some loot over here. Eldari ore, but it doesn't seem very good. Okay, can't interact with this. We did everything here. Ancient bunker. Already did that. Okay. Well. We need to go and visit some of these. That's probably actually going to be the next thing that we do. Alright, have we done one of these yet? We have. Okay. Everything else is locked. Alright, payment and organs, I guess. Complacency goes down. We could work towards that one eventually. Fellowship of the Void. Yeah, we might leave this one. The red lock means that we can actually unlock it. I think the gray locks means that there's no way to unlock them. So it's between these two, and since this one has some big minuses that I don't necessarily want, I think we'll try and work towards getting this. So Fellowship of the Void, we need to get up a bit. We'll leave everything else for now. Okay, we've done our rank 5 on this one already. Imperial Navy reputation ain't bad. Triumph over the Expanse. All the inhabitants of the Expanse place their trust in the Rogue Trader during their hour of need. The flagship restores 33% to the cooldown of ultimate abilities at the end of space combat. Red warp routes always become orange. Oh, that's pretty cool. Red to orange is kind of nice. So we can basically always take the risk if we want to. Profit factor. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Militia Navy. Okay, we haven't unlocked this here. Holy ammunition, extracticum ignifera, or reputation with explorators. So if we don't get either of those ones, then this one's always at least doable, as long as we can get reputation up. Okay. How many do we have left? 2. So we can do one of these up here. Our weapons are a little bit low. We really need Xenotech, man. +5 bonus to tech use. Ooh, that gives us Explorator stuff. I'm gonna do that one just because of that. The motive force is life. Lord Captain Vibo 6 begs for help. Something terrible prowls the planet, searching for a way to wipe out the planet's inhabitants. Victims died in small groups at first, so they dismissed it as simple accidents. A poisoning, a crash transport, a fire, but the death toll has started to rise, and explaining everything as mere coincidence is no longer an option. The enemy appears to be testing out different methods of killing your subjects, like it's looking for the most efficient way to murder as many of them at once as possible. Our picked traps sometimes catch slight sight of a blurry dark shadow walking among the people. No one has actually seen it with their eyes. Okay. Let's do awareness. Place all mining complexes on high alert. Stay vigilant. Sooner or later, we will spot them. May the Emperor grant us victory over this foe. The vigilant overseers were up to the rogue trader's task. Having placed the colony on high alert, they waited for the moment when the enemy would reveal itself. The overseers were better suited for punishing convicts than lookout duty. At last an alert came in. One of the inner gates that had previously been sealed was being opened. The guards who arrived on the scene saw a dark figure and opened fire. Wounded, the creature fled. Cornered in its den, the monster fought its final battle and was slain. It was a terrifying Xenos with a metallic skeletal body and a single emerald eye. I'm sure somebody who knows the lore of this world better will know exactly what that is. Its lair turned out to be a crypt-like chamber, and beneath it was an entire fortress buried in stone. The walls were covered in glyphs similar to the mysterious patterns that the mad convicts were drawing. The chamber also contained the dissected remains of the missing miners. The Omnissiah servants studied the bodies, the crypt, and the Xenos' corpse, hypothesizing that the Inhuman belonged to a caste of sages among its kind. It had remained in stasis for ages untold, but had recently been awakened either by the mining efforts or the explosions caused by the Drukhari invaders. After killing everyone who had approached its lair, the creature tried to wake its brethren, but millennia of tectonic shifts had crushed the underground fortress. The creature was alone. Okay, we got an ancient Xeno mechanism. Whenever the wearer ends their turn, they deal energy damage. Armor penetration to all adjacent creatures. Oh, interesting. That could be good on one of our melee units. If the number of damaged creatures exceeds 3, the wearer suffers the staggered effect. I don't like the downside, but The fearsome insects, the ones that assailed the colony, were the only tool the Xenos had left, so it chose to lie in wait. But when the heretics of the Final Dawn sabotaged the fortress's reactor in their attempts to destroy the planet, the Xenos grew restless and started searching for a way to exterminate the humans. Now the last Xeno survivor was dead, and so was its entire race, or at least so prayed every denizen of Vivos 6. Okay. Okay, Promethium. Plasteel. And Adamantine. Yeah, I guess we could do Earthbreaker. It has to be one of these two, so... Okay, there we go. And with that, we're going to end this episode. Thank you all for being here. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one. Have a good one, everybody. Bye. I'd like to give a very special shout out to my patron supporters: Darren York, ZTD, Knife Namaste, Kyle the Monarch, Chris Murphy, JW, Quinless, Vlado101, Bruce Wizzle, Black Mamba 90, Eureka Gecko, A Happy Fat Panda, Pedo Kuto, Shadow Raven, Anna Kate the Great, Emily Kuzanoa, Philip Dougherty, Timothy Jansen, Skip, Daniel, Yell, and Nadia N. If you would also like to join this tier or any others, check out my memberships or my Patreon in the description down below.